At midnight, Boone Carter stood at the altar of a deserted church, still in his dusty work clothes from the previous day. The woman beside him, Willa Blaine, wasn't the tearful bride one might expect. Her lips moved silently, counting, her weathered fingers tapping her black dress. Every few seconds, her sharp eyes darted to the church doors, as if awaiting a ghost. She had insisted on this hour, rousing the preacher from sleep with promises of double pay. Boone's hands trembled as he tried to piece together how a single day had shattered his future. Yesterday, he was a rancher with debts but dreams. By afternoon, his father, Sterling Maddox, had signed secret papers. By evening, a stranger, Clyde Hargrove, outlined terms to save their land, at a price now standing beside him, a 65-year-old woman with eyes that held dangerous secrets. The preacher's voice echoed in the empty church, each word heavy. "Do you, Boone Carter, take this woman as your lawfully wedded wife?" Before Boone could answer, Willa's icy hand gripped his wrist. He noticed 3 ornate wedding rings on her finger, each too lavish for a rancher's life. Her whisper chilled him, "Say yes, boy, or your father dies before sunrise." Her tone wasn't a threat, it was certainty, born of experience. Boone, at 25, knew death's weight and believed her. His father was supposedly home, lost in whiskey, but Willa's grip suggested darker truths. "I do," Boone said, his voice foreign. Willa's smile was unsettling, not of a bride but of a victor in a hidden game. As the preacher pronounced them married, she leaned close. "Now the real work begins, husband. First, we collect what's mine." The word "collect" carried the weight of a long overdue debt. Instead of heading to her boarding house, Willa led him to the cemetery behind the church. Her black dress rustled against dead grass as she moved through the headstones with eerie confidence, as if the dark was her home. She stopped at a grave marked by a simple wooden cross and began digging with her bare hands. "Help me," she commanded. Boone obeyed, clawing at the earth. "What are we looking for?" he asked. "Something your father stole from me 30 years ago," Willa replied, her voice bitter. "Something belonging to my first husband." The word struck Boone like a blow. Sterling had never mentioned knowing Willa before yesterday, acting shocked when Hargrove proposed the marriage to save the ranch. But as they dug, Boone sensed his life was built on lies. Their fingers hit a metal box, heavy and rusted. Inside were land deeds and a faded letter. Willa read it with reverence, then turned to Boone. "Your father didn't just know my husband. He killed him, made it look like an accident, and forged documents to steal our land, your ranch." The accusation rang true, explaining Sterling's guilt, his drinking, the sudden debts. Boone's voice shook. "So this marriage isn't about money." Willa's laugh was sharp. "Boy, I've planned this since I buried my husband here. You're not my salvation, you're my weapon." They headed to the ranch house, where smoke rose from the chimney despite the hour. Sterling stood inside, rifle in hand, his face aged by fear. "Hello, Sterling," Willa said, her voice heavy with history. "I see you remember me." Sterling's voice cracked. "I wondered when you'd come back. Did you think marrying my son would protect me?" Willa stepped closer, unafraid. "Did you think I wouldn't learn Clyde Hargrove works for you, not me? This was your desperate plan to silence me." Boone's world tilted. Sterling had orchestrated the marriage, using Hargrove to trap Willa. "I never meant for it to happen," Sterling said, lowering the rifle. "William Blaine was my partner. We were to share the land, but he found the gold." Boone's breath caught. "Gold?" Willa's smile was cold. "Your father never told you this ranch sits on a gold vein. That's why it's valuable." Sterling confessed. "William was going to expose my illegal mining. We fought. He fell, hit his head. I didn't mean to kill him." Willa's voice cut through. "Then you stole from his wife, who everyone thought died or fled in grief." She pulled out a document, making Sterling pale. This is the original partnership agreement. William owned 60% of this land and its gold. Boone realized the marriage contract he'd signed wasn't just matrimonial, it transferred his inheritance to Willa. But she wasn't done. She produced a birth certificate, Boone Carter Blaine, son of William and Willa Blaine. The truth crashed over him. Willa was his mother, pregnant when Sterling killed her husband. She'd hidden Boone, leaving him with Sterling and his wife, watching from afar as she planned revenge. "You're lying," Boone whispered, but his hands, long, elegant, like Willa's, betrayed the truth. His green eyes, unlike Sterling's brown, confirmed it. Sterling had raised another man's son, unaware of his true parentage. Willa's plan was intricate: marry Boone to reclaim her inheritance through him, her son. As dawn approached, hoofbeats announced Sheriff Tom Wade, 2 deputies, and Hargrove, now revealed as a territorial agent. "Time's up, Willa," Hargrove called. "The sheriff knows everything." Sterling admitted to William's death and the illegal mining. Willa countered, revealing Sterling's crimes to the sheriff, but her own plan unraveled: the marriage was invalid, as mother and son couldn't legally wed. Hargrove proposed a compromise: backdated permits recognizing William and Sterling as equal partners, splitting the profits. Willa would drop charges, and no one would lose everything. Boone, however, saw another path. "What if we face the truth together?" he said. He proposed honoring William's vision, a 50-50 partnership with Willa, Sterling facing trial for manslaughter, and the mine renamed the William Blaine Memorial Mine. Willa's composure broke, tears falling as she spoke of William's gentleness. She agreed, adding the mine's renaming to the terms. Sterling, handcuffed, looked at Boone with pride. "I'm proud of the man you became." The deal was struck, balancing justice and redemption. 6 months later, Boone stood at the William Blaine Memorial Mine, its sign a tribute to his father. Willa, now in work clothes, managed the thriving operation, her vengeance replaced by purpose. Production soared with legal permits and honest labor. Sterling, serving 2 years, taught prisoners to read, finding peace in honest work. Sheriff Wade visited, sharing that the governor saw their mine as a model for resolving land disputes. Willa squeezed Boone's hand, admitting this felt better than revenge. The mine's success honored William's dream, proving that from the ashes of lies, something honest could rise. As the sun set, painting the sky gold, Boone felt at home, his father's legacy alive in the land and the mother he'd reclaimed.